The East African region of Turkana is known for a scarcity of water and frequent droughts. From time to time, we've highlighted our Crossroads project there to drought-proof over 1,200 families. And many of you watching have helped financially toward this goal. And we're joined now by our Director of our Crossroads Relief and Development, David Shelley, as well as with Steve Ulrich, with whom David connected to assist in this project. Steve is founder of Engineering Ministries International in Canada. And the focus of EMI is to mobilize volunteer architects, engineers, surveyors, building technicians, and other design professionals who donate their skills to help in these kinds of transformational projects around the world. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, good to be here.
Steve, I seem fascinated. I just am fascinated by the whole idea of people, professionals, just saying, you know what? I can do something. Is there an organization I could connect with? And EMI does that to help around the world. Describe some of the main facets of what happens at EMI.
Well, there's a lot of missions projects going on around the world, and what EMI has decided to do, and this started in 1982 by a structural engineer. He went to India to do some pastoral work, but he found that he was much more helpful as a structural engineer. So EMI founded on the principles of why don't we take professionals into short-term mission projects to help other missionaries and NGOs around the world get a project properly done.
And then you founded the Canadian
Yeah, and in
branch,
2002, we moved back to Canada from Colorado, where I was working with EMI in Colorado, to found a Canada office to help organize Canadian professionals.
By the end of this interview, we're going to put a challenge out to maybe other professionals watching, and once they get a sense of really what's happening, because Dave Shelley, our Turkana project really was able to connect with EMI because it's very important for what we were doing. Describe what's happening there.
It's you know, it's a very complicated project, big project, and to have the to have engineers and hydrologists and architects and agricultural engineers, you know, for EMI to gather them and to send them to us, and for them to volunteer their time and come up with a design that we could work with, and continuously are still helping us on the ground, because, you know, we've started with the training center, and the water is flowing there, and it's solar powered, so there's water in the desert running, and now we're building the construction, the garden farm, so that work is ongoing. But EMI, people that are connected through EMI, professionals, continue to help guide the process. We need their help, not only just to kind of get us started, but, you know, it's been a real blessing to have them kind of walk along with us.
And that's really a signature of Crossroads Relief and Development around the world, is that we partner with organizations, and there's this great synergy that happens because there's certain, you know, focuses that one group would have that we don't have, and skills, and you put them together, and it's great to do wonderful things in the name of Jesus. And so we have some photos of how this partnership, you know, started actually happening. So describe, either one of you, just what this is about.
Well, in early 2012, we sent a team of surveyors. There's 5 guys in there amongst the locals that...
That's Turkana?
This is in Turkana region in northern Kenya. And these 5 surveyors went and surveyed all the topography parts of the land that will be involved in these gardens. And then several months later, this is the design team, also with a lot of locals, but the design team had some hydrologists, it had the civil engineers, there's an agricultural professor in there. So the idea was to design the water system to bring the water, the streams in the desert, and also some crop management and stuff. This is one of the surveyors. Just the poles that they use are a GPS system, which helps just lay out the topography of the land. And interestingly, these young guys are getting to learn a little bit about surveying because they're being taught on the ground.
There's a little monitor kind of midway in the pole. There's kind of a computer monitor there.
It's a little onboard computer that they have to record some information in. And the fellow in the middle there in the red Canada shirt is the ongoing engineer that's helping sort of marshal the whole thing along. So he's the continuous connection with David and the crew.
And some of these, you know, when you see the design team, I mean, they came from everywhere. They came from BC. They came from the U.S., Colorado. They came from New Zealand. So it's wonderful how EMI is able to mobilize professionals who have skills and talents that God has endowed them with, but feel a sense of adventure and say, you know what, I'm going to help in faraway places, and we can't do it without groups like this.
So what's the experience of these professionals who they say, okay, I want to do something a little bit out of the box, maybe push my comfort zones a little wider and do something like this, and when they go and they come back, what type of things do you hear from them?
Well, the people that go, people often think they have to be retired professionals, but that's not the case. Our design trips are 10 to 12 days long, so they basically take a week off work. But we also have student interns on board these trips, and so when we get back to one of the EMI offices, the students become kind of the workforce. So they're really asked to get their hands wet and do proper drawings with the help of the professionals that were on the trip. But of course, they go back to their home offices, right? So they supply the details, and our students and our offices put together the packages for them. And then they go back to the ministry for construction.
So someone watching right now is saying, I think I could do something like that. I've got those kind of skills, and I'd like to do something a bit adventurous, but do something for God in the name of Jesus as well. How do they connect with you?
Well, the best place to connect would be on the website, which I assume will be up there. And we have 6, 7 world offices, so they can connect with any of the offices around the world to go on trips. On our websites, there's lists of trips that have been approved of, and we show who we want to go on these trips, like what kinds of professionals for each one, and costs and things like that are all there. So on the website
Excellent.
is the best place.
And Dave, just as we were about to wrap up here, the Turkana project with the goal to drought-proof 1,200 families, how's it going in the progression of getting there?
It's going well. I mean, I think we're at the right pace. It's of course, being Canadian, I like it faster, but it's the right pace for the people, and the training program for the beneficiaries is going to start in the compound because we want to train everyone, and a lot of the wells are dug. They're just trying to zero in on the right solar system with EMI's help, so that we can get the right equipment to do the right job for the long term. So it's progressing, and we're just so thankful for everyone who's donated. We're thankful for all the EMI professionals that continue to help us in the field.
And we could still use some help if someone's saying, I want to help out that kind of an ongoing, self-sustaining, project that has a great future, helping so many families. You can connect with us. You can call. You can write. You can go online, and your help will make a big difference. Gentlemen, thank you so much for what you're doing. I appreciate these opportunities to just kind of raise our sights a bit and look beyond our borders and to say, there's a hurting world out there that maybe I could do something about. And if that's you, connect with EMI, connect with Crossroads Relief and Development. We'd love to hear from you.